Howdy-ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. So on Tuesday, I talked about, Bill Maher absolutely exposing the modern day radicalized extremist alt-left lunatics of the Democratic Party. So I figured why not continue on that front. Now, just so you guys know, I don't watch Fox News. I don't follow their channel. I don't find Gutfeld or whatever his name is to be all that amusing, but his videos pop up on my YouTube recommended feed. So once in a while, I'll watch him if the topic sounds interesting to me. And that's what we have today is one of the most toxic, harmful, disgusting figures in American news media in recent memory to me is Joy Reid. She is a racist. She is disgusting. Like, I find absolutely nothing positive about her. She wants violence in the street as far as I'm concerned. That is her ultimate goal. And so I happened to notice a video where Gutfeld was calling her to account. So the backstory is when Trump was banning transgender from women's locker rooms and from women's sport, Joy Reid was one of the most outspoken, nasty, just intolerant figures out there, calling Trump every name in the book, and conservatives and Republicans every name in the book, racist and misogynistic and transphobic and blah, blah. All the normal talking points from the left wing when they can't do an argument, they just resort to name calling. So apparently the other day, Joy Reid came out and said that she doesn't want to see male genitalia in a women's locker room. Well, isn't that exactly what having trans people in a trans male in a female locker room is going to happen? That seems pretty common sense to me. If you have a man undressing in a woman's locker room, you're going to see his junk. Just as if you had a woman who wanted to be a man undressing in a male locker room, you're going to see her breasts and woohoo. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, so let's just say woohoo. And yeah, this is just common sense to me, but apparently she was making quite a big scene about it. And wouldn't you know it, Gutfeld and his panel picked up on this. So that's what this video is today, is of them calling her out on it. And as usual, I'll jump in with my 2 bits. But so here we go. Once again, we have the left exposing the hypocrisy of themselves. Okay, first off, she has to be like, I've seen Halle Berry. I consider Halle Berry to be one of the most beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous women I saw in all my life. In her heyday, she was just, you couldn't get enough of her. She was gorgeous. This woman, if you want to call her a woman, because I'm really not convinced of that, she is not Halle Berry. She's more like Elmer Fudd, if I'm being honest. I do not understand what anyone sees in Joy Reid. I find her a toxic, nasty, vicious, intolerant, divisive racist.
But then what happens then, Joy? You ask, hey, why is there a naked man in the locker room? And then they say, that's not a man, it's a woman. What do you do next? That's the problem. You just ran headfirst into the problem parents have been raging about for the last few years. And now you speak up? I guess you don't like trans ideology when the balls are in your court.
Come on, that was funny. But yeah, that's exactly it. She was all about this until it got into her world. And that's what I find with the modern day left is when I lived in Ontario, the way the politics are set up in Ontario, Canada, is Ontario, it doesn't matter what Ontario votes for a provincial election. What Toronto and the GTA, Greater Toronto Area vote, that if they vote for the same person, that person is going to be the premier of Ontario, and it doesn't matter what the rest of the province says. So Toronto and the GTA kept voting in Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne, and the Ontario economy went in the crapper and cost rose and everything, but they had designed their policies so that the Toronto and the GTA were protected. It was the rest of Ontario that was suffering. So Toronto and GTA continued to vote Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne for a decade because, well, the hell with the rest of Ontario, we're okay. As soon as the policies started to affect the GTA and Toronto, that's when they turned on Kathleen Wynne. And that's the same thing here. As soon as she was fine with the men and female locker rooms and men and female sports and blah, 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 until it entered her world, her space. And as soon as that happened, that's when she started having a problem. There is a word in the dictionary for those type of people. It's called hypocrite.
How about that for wordplay, Kat? It was wordplay, where the words play.
That's why you're over there and I'm over here.
Yeah. One day you'll be sitting here, but you'll have to master the wordplay with balls.
Why are you like crawling over here?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had closed captioning on. I don't usually, so I guess it just came on itself. So I just turned it off and yeah, we'll be going forward without the closed captioning. Again, sorry about that, people.
What do you think? Do you think that she always felt this way and she just kept it under wraps? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, especially because, I mean, that story from that locker room, talking about that's a person not even trying to look like a woman.
No, that was a psychopath dude.
I mean, not even trying. And it was funny the way she said it, like, you know, I don't want, like, I'd freak out if I saw it, as if she was making like a super maybe hot take or controversial take.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I feel like anytime you're not expecting to see a penis, and then you and then you do.
Yeah. Yes.
It does affect your day.
Yes. Jim, I suppose you can apply what Kat's saying, not just at the locker room, but supermarkets.
Absolutely.
Buses.
Anywhere.
Subways. Does this put a damper on your recreational activities?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry to hear that it's disturbing if people are not expecting it. I always thought, like, what a gift I'm presenting. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get what Joy Reid is saying, and I hate to say that because I really don't like her, but she's not wrong. I mean, I think that she'd be shocked. If she saw a flaccid penis, I'm sure she wouldn't be shocked. I'm sure she saw one that was standing up, she'd probably go, why, they do that?
This is like Bill Maher. They're going to make a lot of jokes, and I got to be honest, normally I'll watch Gutfeld when it comes on, like, or I should say, I don't normally watch it, but the few times I do, I don't normally laugh. I don't really find Gutfeld all that funny, but these guys are made, and maybe it's because it's at the expense of Joy Reid, because I like Norton here. I really don't like her. If you haven't guessed by yet, I don't like her. So I'm appreciating them taking shots. It's kind of like, I don't like Donald Trump, but I appreciated Donald Trump when he was taking shots at Rosie O'Donnell. I guess it's like, who's the lesser of the two evils?
Amazing.
Sage, aren't you happy that you're here tonight to talk about this?
I have missed you so much. And then I'm like, you sit me next to this one. I love this story because the hypocrisy just continues from this woman. Can we call her a woman? I don't know how she identifies today. But at the end of the day, yeah, like we all agree, that's what we've been saying from day one. This is the same woman who, again, I call her a woman, that's generous, Joy Reid. The same person who criticized Caitlyn Jenner, who used to be Bruce Jenner, says, no, boys don't belong, men don't belong in our locker room. She criticized him for that take. She crushed Riley Gaines for all these years for saying that 6'4" man that was in my locker room fully intact didn't belong there. She crushed Riley for that. How about the high school girl in North Carolina?
She actually went so far as to say Riley Gaines should train harder so that she can beat the 6'4" fully intact male pretending to be a woman in a swimming race. Like, Joy Reid is a cancer to society. Make no mistake about it. She is an absolutely disgusting, toxic cancer to society.
Who is still suffering symptoms because a guy smashed her in the head with a volleyball. Like, these are all basic things. Here's maybe the difference. Here's why she's all of a sudden jumping on this little bandwagon. It's interesting. Tish, the woman who stood up and got kicked out of the gym, lesbian, black woman.
Yes.
Checks all Joy's boxes. So therefore, it's okay to stand up for this.
The most important box is love. Tyrus, it is, Sage is right, though. It was like this intersectional, what do you call it? Smash up derby. It's like there are two coming. You got the guy who says he's a woman, but you got the black lesbian, and Joy had to go, which car am I in?
And it's disingenuous. And it's wrong. And I hate when one of my biggest pet peeves is people who talk about things they know nothing about.
Yeah.
Like, you've never experienced it. You've never been in a room with it. So what right does she have to sit there and talk about how unsettling it would be to have a penis in the room with you when you've never been in the room with one? You have no idea. And not to mention, let's just not be so sure the penis is real excited about this. I mean, think about it. You're cooped up all day. All of a sudden, this is your big reveal. You're out in the open world, and it's Joy Reid looking at you.
I will do a demonstration of what would happen to 99.9999999% of the males out there if they happen to come across Joy Reid while they were undressing. This is them. Here.
The Audi would be an innie real quick. I just think it's not fair for her to. She talked about the male organ like 40-year-old version talked about boobs, like sandbags. It just was uncomfortable. You had no idea. Even the way she was like, yeah, and this, and it's like this. And if I saw it, and I was like, you've never seen it. So talk about what you know, not what you don't know.
I think we can all take that to heart. Or not.
So there you go. That is some lighthearted jokes at the expense of one of the most hideous toxic cancer, villainous figures to ever be on the mainstream media. Joy Reid is no longer employed by MSNBC. Joy Reid was even too toxic for that channel. But yeah, so she's no longer there, but yeah, she's still making waves and she's still spreading her spew, and I can't wait for the day that I never have to hear the name Joy Reid ever again. That will be a much better day in North American history. Now, how she ever got hired into a position that would put her out there is beyond me. Like, the MSNBC must have had some massive brain damage, or maybe they were doing too many acid parties in the back or something, because I don't see how anyone hires that person. And even if you got convinced that that's not who she was, all it would have taken was 1 or 2 episodes of her show, and it would be, oh crap, we made a big mistake here, and get her off the air. But they let her run for years, So yeah, but the whole topic, it's a traditional left wing. It's like they will attack you for having an opinion on something until it enters their world, circulates in their universe, and then suddenly they'll start saying the same things you were saying. But apparently it's okay for them to say it. It just wasn't okay for you to say it. Again, hypocrisy. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that is the modern day left wing. They're all filled like that. You can find something like this every single day of the week, where somebody in the left has attacked somebody, a moderator or a right-winger, or even a left-winger, like Bill Maher gets attacked by the modern-day left all the time, and he's left-wing. They will attack all of these people, and then a week, 2 weeks, a month later, they'll be saying the same thing as them because now it's affecting them. They are fine with everybody else suffering as long as it doesn't affect them. As soon as it affects them, then it becomes a problem. And I think that is just a horrifically stupid way to live your life. People like Joy Reid have no integrity. They have no morals. They have no self-respect, in my opinion. They are, well, they're modern day Hollywood. You know, just a cesspool. It's like the, what's the quote from Star Wars? You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious. Well, that is textbook warning for dealing with the modern day left wing. George Lucas nailed it. I don't know if that's what he meant by it, but it fits perfectly. So anyway, that's my video for today. It's a short one, but if you like the video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share, it does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. Takes 1 second to subscribe, costs you absolutely nothing, helps me immensely. Just hit the subscribe button on the bottom of the screen. Always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage everybody to leave a comment. Not only does it get us interacting, but it really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.